Okay guys, welcome to my spotting NFT guide. I wanted to start with an example. Koala Coalition. You might see this. You might see that there are only 5 days, 3 hours and 29 minutes left, and you might think, oh my god, I've got to buy one, and that's what happened to me as well. So why am I using this as an example? I would actually say this is not a good NFT to buy. The reason is that it's been open for a few days and it's only sold 1,000 out of 3,033. With a good NFT project, it will sell out in a few minutes. So this still being open is just, it's not a particularly promising one. You can see why here, and I will explain this in more detail in this video, but if you just read this description, Koala Coalition will acquire a 3x3 plot in Sandbox and assemble a construction crew to develop P2E games and virtual concerts hosted by Swayco. Coalition holders receive 50% of profits generated from land. So the reason that I personally don't think this is a very good NFT project, it does sound good, but they're not making their own metaverse. So there will be no future solid benefits of holding this NFT. So with that being said, let's get into the full guide. Okay, so part one, obviously, what is an NFT? An NFT is a non-interchangeable unit of data stored on a blockchain, a form of digital ledger that can be sold and traded. So non-interchangeable, what does this actually mean? If I have $1 and you have $1 and we swap them, we both still have $1, okay? With an NFT, you cannot do that. Because each token is uniquely identifiable, NFTs differ from blockchain cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. NFT ledgers claim to provide a public certificate of authenticity or proof of ownership, but the legal rights conveyed by an NFT can be uncertain. This is probably to do with copyright. NFTs do not restrict the sharing or copying of the underlying digital files, do not necessarily convey the copyright of the digital files, and do not prevent the creation of NFTs with identical associated files. This is a really, really important point, okay? Let me show you why quickly. If I go onto OpenSea and I type in SolSand, you can see that there are several collections, all of which are selling SolSand, okay? But these are not real. These look exactly the same as the one that I bought if you watched my video before, but these are not real. This is a fake collection using the same images. And you might think, what's the difference? Okay, but there is actually a massive difference, and I'm going to get into that now. The important thing to know is that NFT's biggest use is probably going to be in games, and it has a huge impact on games, which people should be excited by. The kind of NFTs that I'm going to be focusing on in this video is land NFTs. So what is a land NFT? It's a piece of virtual real estate within a metaverse. So the Sandbox is a metaverse and this is land within Sandbox, and the minimum price here is about $10,000, okay? So you can quickly start to see that there is a lot of value here, but why? Why is there value? And what's the difference between one of these and a fake collection like I showed you before? So this NFT, if you buy one of these NFTs, it links to the Sandbox directly and allows you to participate in the game as a landowner. So if you have one of these, you can create your own game, and you can people can pay to play your game, and you can earn money that way. So this is where the value comes from, because there is only a certain amount of lands in this particular metaverse, and there will never be any more. I think it's 150,000 or 190,000. I'm not sure how many exactly there are, but you can see that land becomes very, very valuable very, very quickly. And the reason it's so valuable in the Sandbox is because it was one of the first, and it's one of the most popular, and also because of a lot of brands are buying up real estate in the Sandbox. The problem with the Sandbox for me personally is I can't afford $10,000 basically. So I'm going to show you in this video how we can get into some side altcoins like Solana, which has a very, very good NFT marketplace. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about crypto games in a bit more detail, because I think this is where the real value is going to be found in NFTs. Personally, this is just what I think. I think art is a different thing, and yes, art will always be popular, but I think the value comes from games. This is still in the alpha, which is pretty interesting, and you cannot play this game if you do not have a piece of land. That is where the value comes from, because you can actually earn money in the game if you have land and you have sheep and you grow wool and you farm the wool. Okay, you can actually earn P2E, play to earn money, but none of that is possible unless you have a piece of land. And if there is a certain amount of land, I think it's 20,000 for this particular game, and it's already all been minted, there is no land left. There will never be any more land. So all of the land that has been sold will have value. Again, it's too late for this particular game, but I'm going to show you how to spot some opportunities further on in this video. Okay, so look, it says here, sheep, produce precious wool, breed your flock. As an owner of nature's source of precious wool, you shall watch over your sheep closely. Breed them to increase your production of wool and governance of the ecosystem. But guess what else you can do? Okay, so these are fake. Wait, wolf.game. Make sure you're on the proper game always. So I think this one here, wolf.game.eth, is the proper game. And as you can see, you can sell the sheep and you can sell wolves, and they're pretty expensive as well. They're really expensive. Okay, so let's talk about how an NFT can be a scam, an NFT project can be a scam. I don't know specifically about this one, it doesn't seem like this NFT project really happened in the end. Maybe I'm too early, but anyway. So 7,658 Solana traded. At today's price, this is 765,000 if I'm not wrong. Yes, it is. Okay, so $765,000, and yeah, the problem is like their last tweet was 7 days ago, which is really, really bad for like a NFT thing. You can see that they're not really going anywhere with it. As soon as it got minted, it seems like it just kind of lost a bit of steam. They were posting more consistently, but as soon as they minted, it seems to have just lost a bit of steam. Maybe it'll come back, I don't know, but I personally would not invest in this because they haven't shown that they're actually going anywhere with it. In my opinion, they don't even have a website, which for me is a very, very bad sign. And basically what they do is they hype up the project. They say that they'll create this amazing metaverse and you need this particular NFT to be in that metaverse, and then as soon as it's minted, they just kind of lose all of the steam and all of the hype. Again, I don't know anything about Angry Bunny Club. It's just an example that I found. It was the first one I could find that seemed like it maybe had lost a bit of steam. But yeah, feel free to prove me wrong if you're the project manager of this. Okay, so with that, let's go into what to actually look for. I'm on Magic Eden, if you don't know. It's a Solana based NFT trading platform. I'll go through the platforms later. But the first thing I always look for is if they have a website. And like I said before, Angry Bunny Club does not have a website, which instantly makes me think, like, why would they not have a website? They don't have their Twitter linked here, but their Twitter is here. And like I said before, I like to see how frequently they've been posting in the last few days. If they're posting every hour or every 30 minutes and they've already minted, then that's normally a pretty good sign that there's a lot of hype behind it still. And you can maybe pick up a an NFT on the secondary market after minting, because it's already been minted, but you can buy one for cheap if you get in early, is basically the idea. Okay, so this was actually the first NFT that I bought, this one here, SolSand, and I want to talk about why I chose this project specifically. First of all, they do have a website. It's not linked for some reason. They should have linked it, but it sold out after 1 minute, which is a very, very good sign, as you can probably guess. And the current price is not too ridiculous, and this is their website, and honestly, I just really like the idea behind it. 5,000 unique sand building blocks. So I have purchased a piece of land, which, if you remember, I talked about before. Personally, I think the best investments are things that will give you unique rewards in the future that people might suddenly really want. So there's something like SolSand, but there's also projects that give you passes. So for example, Abstract Labs. Actually, I think I might have enough. Yeah, I might buy one of these, honestly. Abstract Labs here, this is a pass for future content, which again is kind of the same thing if you think about it. And if these become popular or valuable in the future, then yeah. So Abstract Labs Standard is a membership pass allowing you to have access to the Abstract Labs ecosystem. This includes access to curated mints from Abstract Labs artists, NFT airdrops from partner projects, artists, access to DAO, etc. And I checked out their partners, and a lot of their partners are some of the best performing Solana NFT projects. So it's pretty much a steal, honestly, for the price, and it's something that I'm definitely going to look at, especially because it says NFT airdrops, which anything that can potentially give you a free NFT is probably worth it in the long run. Okay, so another thing you always want to do is check the socials of the project, especially if it's an NFT game. You want to check if they have a YouTube, check their comments, make sure they're not bots. Just look for bots, guys. There's so many botted Twitter profiles, etc. This one seems pretty clean, honestly, and yeah, I'm pretty interested in this project. Okay, so let's talk about the possibilities for actually getting an NFT early on. If you want to mint it yourself, you have to try and get yourself on the whitelist of a project. I was trying to do it with this project, but I think it's too late because it's tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. But the process is basically you have to join early and participate in events and retweet and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of this particular method. I really don't like it, and I feel like they probably give a lot of NFTs to people who have been in the project early, which is kind of crappy if you think about it. But yeah, that's just my personal view on the whitelist system. I don't really like it. But if you really think that the project is going to kick off, this is pretty much the cheapest way to get it. And sometimes the resale value is already too high. So if you think it's a really promising project, then this is probably the best way to do it. Okay, so let's talk about what happens after the mint. This is apparently Gary V's OpenSea profile, and he is pretty good at getting them fresh off the mint. As you can see, these only came out today, I'm pretty sure. I don't even think these are out yet. And as soon as they're minted, some people list them immediately. Some people hold them for the benefits of the NFT. Some people resell them immediately. Gary V is a bit of a reseller, which is completely fine. But yeah, this is what happens. So they get minted and then they get put on OpenSea if they're on Ethereum or whatever, or if they're really popular. But if you don't want to spend a lot of money, then there is another option. So a crypto such as Solana also has its own NFT platform. And this one actually has a Launchpad, which is super interesting. So for example, Joystick Founders Club. If I think this is going to be a very successful business in the future, I could have tried to get my account whitelisted, whitelist number 1 or whitelist number 2, or I can wait and in 24 minutes time, if I wanted to, although I'm not going to because it's not even nearly sold out, so it's probably not going to be that successful, I could also mint in 23 minutes time as a public minter. Another thing you can do is you can check the news section on Magic Eden, or also there is another one, SolArt. This is my personal preference because I think it's like too late to get involved in a lot of the other ones because the floor price is often 0.3 Ethereum, which is beyond my budget, but something like Solana is not that high at the moment. So there's definitely some potential here, guys, and there are some Solana projects that sell for a lot of money. This is my personal preference. You don't have to do it like this, but if I go on, I don't know, this, for example, one of these is now 23 Solana, which is $2,300. So you can see that there is definitely potential there. I don't know what the floor price was. The floor price was 23 Solana, actually. So that makes perfect sense at the price, to be honest with you. Okay, so my final tip is to look at the Magic Eden Launchpad. Again, this isn't financial advice. I think I have to say that. But there are two pretty interesting projects coming up. The only problem with projects like this is they will probably sell out immediately, although there are 8,888 of them. I'm going to be here tomorrow with one Solana, hopefully to buy one of these. And if I don't get one of those, I will try and get one of these for 2 Solana, I think. Anyway, that's my plan. But yeah, I hope this helps. I'm not an expert on this, guys, but I just wanted to share some of the tips that I've picked up from my research recently, and I think a lot of you will appreciate the fact that you can buy it for Solana instead of with Ethereum, because OpenSea is incredibly expensive now. Hope this helps some people, and just be careful out there because there's a lot of scams, and peace out.